The story of the pivot pad is pretty simple. If you've ever done a hip thrust or a hip extension with the barbell, you know that leaning up against some arbitrary height box or some kind of sharp edge and then trying to load meaningfully is not very comfortable. I'm a physical therapist. We were born on bridges as an easy way to begin to load and sort of transfer energy from the hip to the spine. We know that there are big, complicated setups in the gym that are trying to solve this solution, but what we realize is that most of us actually have the solution built in. We have access to a rack, we have access to a barbell, and it's easy now to sort of convert that old infrastructure into a more effective solution, being able to access that hip thrust in a more kind of comfortable and effective way. One of the great things about the pivot pad is that people can quickly make these adjustments of where it feels more comfortable, where they feel like they're getting more muscle recruitment. Instead of just arbitrarily setting myself up on a bench or on a box and then hinging away, I can have this individualized height, which based on my ability to extend my hip or based on the length of my limbs means that I have a much more effective outcome with an exercise that we like. The width of the pivot pad is actually one of the reasons I am such a fan of this new device from AbMat. One of the things that we get with a larger surface is that we're actually supporting the back and pivoting around sort of that central axis of the barbell. But because we're able to spread that load out, we actually find that people can handle larger loads on the hip because they're not limited by discomfort on the upper back or mid back. The hip thrust can be really a great solution for you. The problem is getting comfortable with it or finding a solution that actually works more effectively for your body. And if you have seen athletes at the gym, they are working it out. They're fighting for the right bench that has enough padding and then takes the bench away, or they're on some kind of hard edge box which does not feel good and actually can potentially ask even more weird stabilization and create weird compensation demands at the spine as we're trying to hip extend. The pivot pad, again, solves a lot of these issues. It's easy to set up, it's very comfortable, and when we take the spine demands out of this, we're able to really focus on the demands of the tissues of the hip and posterior chain, which makes this a winner for all our athletes.